Hi everyone, my name is Ben. I am the founder of GoldenWeb. We're an SEO agency specializing in scaling up Shopify brands through SEO and organic traffic. We've been around since 2017 and we've been growing year over year. In the last few months, we've really scaled up the number of clients, the number of partnerships that we have active, and at the moment we're ranking out about 500,000 words per month in regards to SEO content. And yeah, just the main reason why I really reached out to Ryan and OpsKings team was just to figure out the best way to just make sure that I was using and leveraging all the automation and different resources available to make the operations as efficient as I could.
Perfect. So the first thing you came to us with was an interlinking automation. So you produce a lot of content. Talk to us about what you're like in terms of, okay, so interlinking for those who don't know, and I'll probably explain it in more technical detail than most people want to hear, but you get a bunch of content, you create links between those pieces of content so that the content ranks and the content sees this, or the Google sees the site as an authority, and images and headlines and things like that. So talk to us about what your content process was like before we implemented any automation into it, and why you realized that there needed to be a change.
Yeah, so pretty much whenever we're working on an SEO project, we have a fully planned out content and keyword plan, which just allows us to kind of target specific keywords in specific niches. And up until then, like we've just been relying on mainly SOPs, and we've been relying on writers and content managers to follow these SOPs. But as you know, I mean, when you start dealing with a substantial amount of content, and substantial amount of moving parts, substantial amount of team members that are working on this content, you will just have errors. And that was kind of the biggest struggle that we were dealing with, because we wanted every single piece of content to link to another article a number of times, to other either product pages or collection pages, since we work mainly with Shopify brands. And we were about like 60 to 70% of the way there, but it was impossible for us to make sure that all of the rules were being followed 100% of the time. That was the main real struggle that we were dealing with. And I knew, I just knew that by not having everything at 100%, I was missing out on results, which means that my clients were missing out on results, and I knew that it wasn't perfectly optimized.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to us about what. So, I mean, obviously, I know what we did because I did it, but or me and my team did it. But talk to us about what is the biggest difference, or what your content process is like now in terms of the things that are done, and how it's affected the capacity of your team.
Yeah, so pretty much the biggest constraint was just the fact that if I wanted to scale up fast, which means that if I wanted to bring my own personal projects, or if I wanted to onboard a lot of clients fast, I just had to hire a lot. And then with that, I had to train more team members and all of that, versus now we essentially have the automation, which you and your team have built, doing one of the most complex parts of the process. And essentially we were able to increase our output by about 500%. So before what 5 people would do on the team, we can now achieve the same with one person plus the automation. So just the efficiency has gone up pretty much through the roof, and with that also just the quality of the content and the quality of our work as well.
Fantastic. I don't know if you're comfortable. I know this is like there's a lot of proprietary stuff that you like. Your process, right, is very much built into this system. But are there any specifics in terms of features that have been the biggest game changers for you that you're able to share?
I mean, it's just checking and making sure that that the SOPs are being followed. I mean, even if I gave away like the actual SOP and how we do everything, it wouldn't make much sense, just because the context is missing and why this is important. Right. But I would say just the fact that the automation is able to go through our SOP, that you've made a machine understand our SOP, that's really the most fascinating part about this. And just the way that you've first of all, like we're able to understood the SOP, and just given the fact that you're not in SEO and that you're not even familiar with all these terms, that's I would say is the number one thing that made like I was really impressed by, because like when we bring someone onto the team, they need months and months of training to be able to understand the process, because it's not an easy process to follow, and you were able to nail that. That's number one thing that I really respect you for. And then number two is the fact that you were able to turn a complex SOP, and you gave instructions to automation essentially to understand it. And there are so many moving parts, and I know we were working on it for a long time, but the fact that a machine can understand all those rules step by step, and that it doesn't make mistakes, and it doesn't have false positives and all of that, like that to me was the most impressive part of everything.
Cool. All right. And there was a couple other things that we've done since. So one of the other ones I know we focused on early on was like you were calling it a CRM, but effectively it's a project management tool that manages lead flow as well. You had okay, tell us what you were using before to manage your leads.
Yeah, so pretty much like before, whenever a lead would come in, it would just register in like in Calendly, and from that, like my team would follow up on the lead with a quick review, and all of it was pretty much stored in just Google Docs, Google Sheets. It wasn't really optimal at all, and because of that, we noticed like a lot of things were getting missed, because if the client didn't get back to us, or if we I don't know, if we were waiting on communication from another team member or from maybe an external partner that was working on that project. And if someone forgot to reply, essentially the project would get stuck. So that was kind of the biggest drawback. And because we work in like stages, every project that comes in from zero to results goes through like 3 different stages. And if they get stuck in between, so maybe they complete phase 1 and they get stuck between phase 1 and phase 2, essentially it will dramatically limit the results that they get. So once again, the CRM not only helped us, the project management tool essentially not only helped us to ensure that every lead and every client gets the best possible customer service, but also ensure that, you know, that every client gets that we generate the best results for every client that comes through to us.
Yeah, cool. Anything else you want to share about results you've had with this system or things that have surprised you?
I would say like out of everything, what surprised me the most is just like I haven't worked with the rest of the team. I just worked with you, Ryan, and I know like from, you know, I know you for a few years, like I know how tech savvy you are with this, but it's just really kind of opened my eyes to other possibilities and everything else that we can do with automation. It really like it blew my mind how well you understand this. You know, I was like, can we do this and this? And then you're like, yeah, we can do this and this, but we can also insert 15 other things that dramatically improve the efficiency of a business, right? So it's just the fact that you have a very good understanding of the technology, and that you're able to understand the unique problems that, like, you know, that I was dealing with. So for me, that was the number one thing that really helped with everything. And yeah, just super glad to have you part of the team, and that we kicked this project off.
Yeah, it's been a cool project, honestly, because your work is so high volume. So there's things you would never encounter in a business that was doing, you know, 20K per month or had a couple of people, that you very much do encounter when there's like millions and millions of words being produced all the time. Where like, I mean, even some of the article stuff was like, hey, we ran it as one situation every 1,000 articles where the writer did this. But you have to account for that, because that one thing that happens every 1,000 articles is happening 20 times per month. And otherwise, that one person just wouldn't have the bandwidth to be able to handle all these different cases. So no, it's been really cool working with your team, because there's so many opportunities with the nature of the work that you do. So Tony, any other closing questions that I haven't asked that we normally ask on calls like this?
I would say what has been the difference in terms of the scale of your business, and you can vocalize this in terms of the output that you're producing or the team size from when you kick things off with OpsKings and then on to now.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say that the interlinking automation, the content automation, has really made the biggest effect on the actual efficiency. Because the project management tool, it's more difficult to measure. It reduces errors, but I cannot measure how many errors it reduced. It just simplified things and make them easier to track. With the content automation, like I mentioned before, we're at least like a 500% increase in terms of efficiency. I would say more because like we're still adding clients on now to this automation, and we haven't had to bring on additional managers. We're starting to now, but I would say around 500% increase, if not more, in efficiency.
Awesome. That's perfect. Me on the operation side, that's all that I'm interested in.
All right, cool. Yeah, anything else, Ben, you want to say before we wrap?
Yeah, I mean, if someone's watching, to anyone that's watching this video, I would just say, like, look, you at this point, like, you don't know what you don't know. That's like the ultimate thing when it comes to automation, because like what the guys at OpsKings, like what the guys are doing, it's so new. No one really understands it, except for them. And I understand that it's very, very difficult for them also to explain it to you and exactly how they can help, because they can help in so many different ways and every situation is unique. So I would say, like, really, it doesn't cost you anything to just jump on a call with them to just explain the different problems that you're dealing with. And then they can tell you if this is something that they can fix, which they most likely will be. Yeah, I would just say, look, you don't really have anything to lose. Just jump on a call with them, see if you find a solution, and then go from there.